Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with the daily technical update on Tuesday, the 14th of November. A cold and rainy day here in Copenhagen and a fairly quiet day on the US markets. The S&P 500 that did close above the cloud and above this 4,400 and a change resistance and closed the gap, and we are in a positive sentiment on the RSI. So maybe just a little bit of a pause where we're testing the upper falling trend line from the upper side, which is not unusual, but we should move higher in coming days. Nasdaq 100 pausing just below the 15,561 resistance area. You have to bear in mind these are not exactly, so maybe we'll just have a little bit of a setback before we will have another go at that resistance level. So it's not unlikely we will take it out going into December. The EUROSTOXX 50 this morning, after being rejected twice, we are above the currently above the resistance at 42.35, and we are in a positive sentiment on our RSI, so I think we will see a move higher. What is interesting, can we break the 200 moving average and the 100 coming down here and move above the cloud, which is not unlikely given that we have the positive RSI moving there. The DAX index, no strong resistance until 15,575, but we need the RSI to close above 60 for DAX index to get some upside momentum. AX followed through and traded above 750 resistance and is now above the 200 moving average, and I think we will see a move towards the 760, 763 resistance level. We have Belgian markets. A Belgian market that is still sliding a little bit sideways, basically can't really get traction, upside traction, and I think we will see it being a little bit range bound between 3,500 and 3,400 here the next couple of days. CAC 40 in an uptrend, but still sentiment-wise it's still negative. Really needs to break above and close above 60 for further upside momentum. Then we have the falling trend line here that will add some resistance to the entire lot, and we have the 7,200 resistance level where we also have the 100 and 200 moving adding to the resistance. So there could be a little bit of a struggle for CAC 40 to really get upside momentum. The SMI from Switzerland, I think we will see a test of the 10,675 resistance. Can it close the gap? It needs to close above to close this gap for further upside momentum. And it seems like it's going to be a struggle, but I think it will try again today. Euro dollar is still in this range between 106.35 and 107.60, and I think we will remain in this area here with a slight upwards tone, given that we have the bullish RSI and it is still above this rising trend line here. And if we do get RSI back above 60, well, we will have a go at this resistance and the 100 and 200 moving average. That kind of also adding to the resistance level. And we have the upper cloud area here that also could be a struggle. So expect a struggle, but if it does break above, closes above, then there is further upside to 109, 109.45. The cable trying once again, moving higher, and I think it will. I do believe we will see 124.45. It could be a nice trade to go long here, and with a stop on these lows here around. This is not a recommendation; it's just a thought. 121.85 as these lows here. But it's still a fragile uptrend that can easily falter, and we still have 55 moving average coming down here, so it's really struggling for upside momentum. But a move of above, back above 123.37, we are likely to see a test of 124.45. The very interesting dollar yen. Once again yesterday it was rejected at the see just a few pips from the 152, 151.94, which is the 22 peak. It's really a struggle for dollar yen. So I think we will maybe see a little bit of a setback before we will have another go. If it does break above, well, then we are talking about 153, 144, 154. Sorry. As a potential short-term move, but it is a hard nut to crack, really. The euro yen, on the other hand, is still slowly just moving higher day by day. 163.11, which is the 161.8 projection of this correction here. Seems like we are going to move there, possibly higher to 164. So that's really something to keep an eye on, these targets there. But it is not even stressed, as you can say, because we have the RSI above 60, but there's no divergence indicating we are likely to see higher levels on euro yen in the coming time. And we can see here is the Fibonacci projection. 163 is definitely a likely short-term target, probably higher. Aussie yen, really struggling for good old-fashioned upside momentum, but with the positive candle here yesterday, if we does close it back above the 96.82 resistance level here, well, then we will have another go at 97.67, and then if it does that, I think it will take it out and move towards the 2022 peak around 98.5. Sterling yen, we haven't looked at it for a couple of days now, but now after the move yesterday, a retest of 186.75 at the peak here is quite likely. We have a bullish RSI. I think we'll move higher, and there should be room up to around 190 level. The dollar index can't really find its feet. I mean, we are above the 105.34, we are above the 55 moving average, but it's not unlikely we'll see a move lower here. So it seems like it's just fluctuating or hovering around these 105.34. The RSI is still in positive sentiment, but there's divergence, so we should see a correction lower, meaning also probably your dollar higher. But let's see, it's still a little bit directionless. Gold bounced off its 38.2 retracement and 200 moving average, as we can see here, and it seems like now we are ready for a little bit higher bounce. We are still in a positive sentiment on the RSI. There was no divergence on the peaks, so a move up to at least 1979, 1980, and this resistance that we've seen before around 1985 is in the cards. However, if it does break the lows from yesterday at 1931, well, then we could see a little bit of a correction down to 1910, possibly dipping lower. But I'm more confident to a correction or a resuming of that the uptrend will resume towards the 1980. The silver did close back above the 22.15 support, and we could see it moving higher the next couple of days. Can it actually move above the cloud area here? That's going to be interesting. We still have the 55 moving average that will weigh a little bit on it. And finally, copper, when we're talking metals, back above the falling trend line here. It's more like a guideline, I would say, to give you an idea where we are like bullish, bearish, but then it is an actual trend line now after being penetrated so many times from over down. So interesting that it's fluctuating around that, but it is the 354.50 support level that is key for copper. The WTI bounced off its 61.8 of the head to neckline projection here, forming a doji-like. It's not the best example, but still we saw a shift of power. We have retraced 38.2. I think we could possibly move a little bit higher towards the 100 moving average. If we can get above $80 a barrel there, then it's interesting. We have the The Brent oil also back above the 200 moving average, and I think we'll see a move to around $85 on Brent there. And finally, the US 10-year, I did send out a piece yesterday where I had a look at both the yields and the actual future. We'll have a very quick look at it there. It's struggling a little bit to get back above the 470 and the close above the 38.2 retracement. Maybe we should have another test of the upper rising trend line and the cloud area here. And we need also the RSI back above its falling trend line. So that's really interesting. Let's have a look at the future. That's where the actual trading is taking place. So bouncing a little bit, actually retraced 50% of this uptrend here, and also bouncing from the rising trend line. So I do think we will move lower towards the 61.8 at 106.20, but it's really struggling at the moment. Keep an eye on these levels. All right, that's all for today on this rainy Tuesday here in Copenhagen. Have a nice day and happy trading.